I want to bring that up because, Nikki, I was thinking about this earlier. And
I think it'll be fun to start off with something that we do every week, and it's about, what did you tattoo this week? Tell us about one thing that you last tattooed.
So excited because this week was weird.
good.
Because, look, I'm not trying to because my clients are very special to me, obviously, and they're great people. And my husband books my appointments, and sometimes
What a lucky girl.
it's very easy. But sometimes he throws some at me because he knows that I'm going to be like, what? So this week I tattooed a couple. I tattoo only 3 days a week, and so they took up the 2 of the days this week. The husband wanted a tattoo to commemorate his chaste and very special cuckold relationship with his wife.
Wow. Cool.
Wow.
Look, I'm not here to judge, okay? I'm here to do cool tattoos, but I'm I'm not used to, the explanation for tattoos being so deeply explained in emails. And he wanted the tattoo on his pubic mound.
Wait, and you actually did this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't book this myself. My husband did because he just knows that, he just wants to throw some whammies at me.
So let me ask you, though. So your husband will book the appointment without you approving anything?
Yep.
You don't get to see anything until you know, yeah, that's scary.
Well, yeah. So I've had a few appointments, I've had a few assistants before, and at the end of the day, I kind of figured out after having other people book me that, the only person that's going to work the hardest for you is yourself or your partner, because,
For sure. I agree.
How much money you make is only important to you and your partner. So he's learned over the last, I think he's been booking me for 5 years now. He knows what I want to tattoo, and he knows the kind of stuff I like. But so he got this fun email, and he decided, I'm gonna book this bitch. Where she's gonna get this one. So he wanted a heart locket on his pubic region. And he originally wanted it to be like a chastity belt with the chain from the heart locket in the shape of a thong.
Man.
Damn.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a prank.
I know. Yes, I know. And later in the email, he said, my fiance is going to get a key to match the heart locket. And he sent a lot of different things that I was like, well, normally I don't tattoo such feminine imagery on men, but he asked for that. And I said, okay, cool, let's do it. And then his wife sent an email as well. And so then I did this really cool, moon goddess kind of really spooky looking thing. No key at all.
No key at all.
She didn't get it. But he got his.
Now they're divorced.
He got his, and it was fine. I was nervous about the conversation coming up because, usually a lot of people that are into alternative sexual stuff will want to talk about it a lot. And usually I'm like, yeah, let's fucking talk about it. I don't know. I don't want to hear about this one.
How old were they?
Young.
Young.
She was.
That surprises me.
Yeah, me too.
She's 22. He was 25.
Wow.
What?
I was expecting like at least 50, 55, something like that.
Nope. Like in my brain, my 31-year-old brain, I'm like, you're children.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here? Wow. But I mean, he was more than happy with what he wanted, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not here to judge what they're gonna get. I'm just gonna do a really cool tattoo, and I'm not gonna be above tattooing in any place that is, I don't care. I'll tattoo anywhere.
What did they look like?
Huh?
What did they look like?
What did they?
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna sound so messed up, but would you say that they were like
Normal ass people, the most normal
two
human
fives?
beings.
There were 2 5s.
No, they were actually attractive young people.
Okay, this
So
is
surprising.
that's what I wanted to know. Like, are they like 2 5s or they're
Nope,
like
they were 2 strong 8s.
2 strong
Wow.
8s? Wow.
Yeah, the wife was beautiful. The guy, he was a very attractive young man, and they were very normal. And the thing that I thought about it after the fact, after I tattooed both of them in 2 separate days, I had to realize, after so many hours with these people, and I didn't talk about what he very specifically put in the email. I tried to avoid it. I was like, there's a lot of people that do this shit. And you have you have no idea. I just wanted to respect boundaries, and I just wanted it to not be a weird conversation because, maybe I'm vanilla. I'm just not into it, and I don't know how I'm going to respond to something like that. So I'd rather just avoid it and learn who they are as a couple individually. And it was a very delightful experience. It was just this funny, underhanded thing that was going on in my brain the whole time, just paying attention to how they interacted with each other. And, when I tattooed his wife or fiance, in the middle of it, he's bored because he already got tattooed and he was, going through fucking hell. He sat through 7 hours on his pubic area, and that hurts. She's getting a tattoo on her outer arm, which isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So he, in the middle of it, he goes, you know what? Hey baby, I'm gonna get my my engagement ring tattooed on me.
What?
Because my other artist was there and she was available.
Wait. The guy said he was gonna get his engagement ring tattooed.
Guys don't have engagement rings.
No.
No, they don't. And they're not married.
What? What?
He said at my job I can't wear a wedding ring because, okay, they're not married yet. So he's going to go and, well, that's what he said. I can't wear a wedding ring, so I'm going to do this. And he already has her name tattooed on him.
This is insane. This is insane.
I was elated.
My mind is going what?
I was so happy because, this wasn't a normal week. This was not a normal week. And so,
my man, whoever you are, my man, I don't know you, but you need to stop simping, bro. Stop it.
Yeah, he got that tattoo done. And I was wondering if I wanted to ask, but I also had to recognize the balance of their relationship, considering he's the cuckold and he's very open about it. I didn't want to ask her, do you want to put the key in this tattoo? And it never came up. So I didn't bring it up. And, during breaks, he would say to her, during the breaks with me tattooing him, when he's, his soul is left from his body. I've been pounding black and onto the whites, and he's just seeing God through all of this. It's just no numbing cream can help him. He's like, I overheard him say, this was your idea.
This is insane. This is insane. You know what? I've never really seen this kind of situation from it's clearly female domination on this fucking dude. He's getting dominated by this chick so hard. But I have seen dudes have girls get names tattooed on them and then covered and then they come back and get it again.
Oh yeah.
Because the dude's just in there.
Oh,
and they
he's
So wait, you said-
fucking
locked
with their
in.
brain.
The girl was 22 when he was 25. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh man, she got some good pussy.
She's doing something right. Whatever she's doing, she's got it on lock.
She's got that guy on lock. That's
Yeah.
insane. Wow.
I mean, overall, a fantastic couple. I didn't ask about their personal life, even though I felt like they really wanted to talk about it.
Oh, they definitely did.
They did. Whenever you're that, out there,
Yeah.
you want to be like, yeah, this is what we do. You're like, what? Really? Tell me all about it. Because I'm sure people have so many questions.
And I think a lot of people that are interested in alternative sexual lifestyles are really happy about talking about it. And I've been to like fetish events and stuff, and I don't go anymore because every time I would go, I'd always be like, fuck, I didn't want to know that much about that person. So I don't know,
much.
like I just wanted to get to know them as people and learn about, because, if you're tattooing somebody for, 8 or 9 hours, you're going to talk about, sorry. If you're tattooing somebody for 8 or 9 hours, you're going to learn a lot about them. And you end up just kind of talking and discussing life. And I'm not going to say that I actively really avoided it, but yeah, I avoided it. I just don't.
So
Because there was so many hours to be had with them, I didn't want a lingering. And I know myself, and I say things that I shouldn't, and I'm gonna tight lip it. I'm not talking about it.
I feel like when I tattoo people, they completely want to tell you everything, and they kind of make it where they're like, they hint that they want you to be inquisitive about the story.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that are like, I don't want to talk to you at all, bro. My headphones are coming on.
That's
Yeah.
my
And-
favorite client right there.
That's your
I love those
favorite?
guys, yeah. I don't want to know nothing.
There's the client.
I don't want to tell you anything.
I have some clients that do that, and by the end, they're like this, just one headphone on. So, because I'm talking to them the whole time.
Yeah.
Either I'm giving them directions of like, turn more, do this, blah, 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 or just relax your arm, bro. Stop it. It's like, I tattoo a lot of guys. So I see them a lot, like, I'm tattooing their arm, and they're like, oh. I just see their veins. I'm like, bro, stop it. They're like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's always kind of been a thing for me as well. Like it's a topic in itself with tattooing, being a headphone tattooer. And I'm gonna be outright and say, I'm not one, and I don't necessarily support it for certain reasons.
I have a lot of reasons for that. I don't think that that's a good thing. It's
I
like,
don't think it's polite.
I don't think it's polite at all, especially like the tattooer, like zoning you out with my fucking Bose soundproof headphones right now.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's a person right there, bro.
It feels kind of rude, like
Is it? So I agree. But do you feel it's just as rude for the client to have his or her headphones on and just zone
No.
out?
No, not the same. We're not having the same experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I need to be alert for whatever your needs are. And it's not the other way around,
Yeah, exactly. And we also have to remember these people that want to get tattooed by us have been thinking and planning about this tattoo for a really long time. They love your work and they're paying a ton of money. And the least we can do is be present.
Be present. Be in the moment.
Be in the moment. And, it's not like you have to fucking get to know every single part about this person, but the decent, kind thing to do would be readily available for any conversation at any point. And, mindful of their needs, because they're going through a process that spans hours and hours and hours. And I feel like if I were really excited to meet a tattooer that I've been looking at for months, that I'm paying a lot of money to go see, and then the tattoo starts and, real quick, see you in 5 hours.
Yeah.
It just
I'm
feels
checked
really
out.
dismissive.
Some
They're
people
like,
need to like talk.
I'm stopping. We're going to stop for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because tattooing can be a very personal experience, or it can be a very impersonal experience. If they want to wear their headphones, that's because they need to zone out, and that's what they need. And whatever keeps them steady through the tattoo, I fully support it. I don't need to know everything about you, but I want to make sure their experience is as comfortable as possible.
I agree. Same. I want my clients at the end of the tattoo to feel like they got their tattoo and they had a good time.
Right.
Like they have a good memory tied to that tattoo. I feel like that's so important.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like we do this every day. Most people don't get tattooed every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it could be their first tattoo ever, and like their experience is tied even more to that tattoo.
Yeah, we definitely lost the magic of what it is to be getting tattooed.
Yeah. Because we see it all the time, happens all the time for us, whatever. We're looking at this shit all the time. It's like not a big deal, but people are coming in and they're like expecting this kind of experience, you know?
And sometimes whenever you finish a tattoo, I don't know what I've been recently doing for our booking system. We do like you know how you book like a haircut or a reservation or whatever. Mm-hmm. So on that same platform, we also have a thing where they can leave reviews. And a lot of the times when people leave a 5-star review, they talk about how fun the experience was and how comfortable they felt. And, you know, I feel like it's beyond just the tattoo that you give them. It goes into just the whole journey getting there. If they're flying from another state, they're excited. This is a whole thing they got to get excited about. And they, you know, when there's these enthusiastic clients and then you shut them out with a headphone, I understand an artist needs to get into their space, their locked in zone. I respect that and I understand that, but I feel like the most special thing to me when I see reviews from people, which is a very new thing, is when they say she was very cognizant of my needs. She was actively hanging out, and it was a great experience getting to know her and feeling comfortable in the shop because I was there all day. And that, I feel, is something that a lot of people lose sight of in tattooing because I don't know if it's maybe for big shots or something, but I feel like when you get to a certain level, there's a moment where a lot of tattooers can lose sight that they are providing a service for somebody. And, you know, not to seem holier than thou or anything, but, you know, these people are the ones that pay our bills.
For sure.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
We got to give some kind of positive experience back to the people that are, you know, letting us do the sickest job in the world. So be a person. Let's have fun. Hang out. We're here for fucking 10 hours. Let's make it work.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
We can agree to that.
So you touched on a couple of things that I definitely want to go back to, but I do want to move on a little bit before we just kind of climb.
I know, go. I want to hear what Hazel did.
Yeah,
this
me
week.
too. So Hazel, what did you tattoo this week?
I started a back piece, my first back piece ever.
Get a little bit closer to the mic, just a little bit.
Oh, I said
There you
I
go.
started
There you
my first back piece ever. I just did the outline, so it was only the first session.
What
But
was it?
It was a desert oasis with a skeleton coming out of a coffin at the bottom, and then the top has like some flowers. It's traditional, and it has this like kind of skull cherub with wings, and then a gavel and a sword.
Sweet.
Yeah, I saw the design. It's really cool.
Thank you.
It's it almost looks like a well orchestrated flash sheet.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going through a bunch of like traditional back pieces, and at first it looked like a landscape, and then I was just like, that's just not how they structure them. It's more like separate tattoos put together,
Right.
and they kind of make like one big picture.
How'd the guy sit for it?
He sat amazing. He did use like numbing cream, but it worked really well, and even at the end, he sat really well. And he told me it was like brutal at the end, but he didn't move. He didn't like scream or anything. He was one of those headphones.
Yeah. I've never had a good experience with a client using numbing cream.
No.
Man,
They always ask me, and I've never had an issue.
I've had so many good experiences from being a client on numbing cream.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I mean, like, I'll take
hush
that.
anesthetic.
I know. I'll take that sissy sauce any day, Dad. Put some sissy sauce on me. I'm
Yeah,
fine
every
with it.
time that someone asks me, like, hey, do you mind if I use some numbing cream? I'm like, yeah, whatever, go for it. Like, I know from past experiences for all the people that I've tattooed who use numbing cream, within the first 15, 20 minutes, it wears off, and then they're just like screaming in pain.
Well, do you know which one they use? Because
Everyone uses something different. It's like, oh, I just found some cheap stuff off in Amazon.
Bro, this is like
Yeah.
illegal. It came
Yeah.
from like Japan. Nobody has this.
Yeah.
It has
always
like
something like that.
99% fucking whatever that numbs the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, all right, I'll put whatever you want on you as long as you shut the fuck up. Sit for this tattoo. I think we all feel that way. It's like, whatever,
Yeah.
bro. If it makes you, it's like, it's almost the placebo effect. You know he's gonna
Right.
feel better, even if you put it on for 2 minutes and you're like, but this should
Yeah.
sit there for an hour. But we're gonna
Yo,
make you feel good.
I'm a
Right.
sissy cream girl. I've,
It's like,
I've paid my fucking dues.
damn right.
But I mean, everyone is different, obviously. Like, I mean, so I have a tattoo appointment with Nico Hurtado in like 2 weeks. And I sent him a message. I was like, hey, is this okay?
Like, can I put some numbing cream on it?
But, you know, I feel like he feels the same way that I do. I'm very picky about what creams they are because some turn your skin into a literal fucking wet dish sponge.
Yeah. It
And then
feels
it's just
crazy.
awful, and then it wears off, and then it heals like shit, and then here
Yeah.
we go back again. This one that my client used, she didn't ask about it. She just already had it on, and I was like, well, she's fucking here, so we're
She
gonna
did
do
it.
it. She already had it on. She had it on for 2.5 hours. She was numb for 8 hours.
Wow.
Damn, that's
Is it-
crazy.
8 hours.
Is it
And
the TJX one?
no.
Okay.
Um,
What'd you say, TJ Maxx?
No, TJX.
TJ
I got my
Maxx?
numbing cream from
That
TJ
shit.
Maxx.
Said it was discounted on the tag.
It was numb all day. And it was this massive thigh piece. And I was like, this shit's going to wear off real soon. And then she's going to feel terrible because she didn't get her endorphins into it. She didn't get, you know, used to it. But I did this massive thigh outline and it took all day. And then at the end, she's like, I still don't feel anything.
An outline took you 8 hours to do?
This big.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, it was very detailed and all that,
Sure.
but yeah, it took me 8 hours.
All right. No judgment.
Do you want to hear a crazy story about like some, numbing cream? How this kind of came to be? Of course, it came from sex. It came from like an anal lube.
It's an anal cream. Remember
Anal
brown label?
lube. No, I don't. But
Now I want to know.
But now you want to know. But it all started with like some anal lube, and that would numb, make things a little bit more simple back there. And somebody was like, "Oh man, I should put this on my tat before I go." And then somehow, they were able to turn this around, and now we can all benefit from a
No
little
shit.
bit less pain.
Bless the butthole.
Bless the butthole.
Yeah, I remember a long time ago. It was when numbing cream first started. I think I got like an Inkies brand, and it was brown label, and I was like, "Why the fuck is it brown label?
The brown.
Why are they
label.
doing this?" And then on the back it said specifically for anal, whatever,
For the bum bum.
for the bum bum. But
For the poop shoot.
For the poop shit.
they I mean, I respect it. They have to do whatever they got to do to get the license to sell this thing. I mean, I guess we got to figure out how to do this some way, but yeah.
Well, how many times have you heard people using Preparation H to heal their tattoo?
What? I never heard that
No?
before ever.
Yeah.
I have a story.
Yeah.
Can I
Oh, please tell it.
Yeah, tell it.
it has nothing
Really?
to do
You
with
never heard that before?
No, I never
Oh,
heard
man.
prep H for
I
healing
want to hear
tattoos.
this first before I tell my story though.
Oh, there's no. I've had a lot of clients be like, "Oh, so I'm gonna put Preparation H on my tattoo to heal it, right?" I'm like,
Why?
"Really? I don't know.
Where did they get this idea?
I
They,
don't know."
they're like, it makes my butthole feel better.
Yeah, I guess.
They're like,
Apparently that's the thing. I mean, I started tattooing at a biker shop, so I guess that was like the old school biker thing to do, to put Preparation H on your tattoo to heal it. But a lot of people have said that to me.
This is insane.
Okay.
Bro, you learn something new every freaking day, dude. This is crazy. I just learned that people put Preparation H, which if you don't know, because you're out of the country, this is for hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid cream for your butthole, but now it's on your tat. I hope that people use different bottles. If that's pretty gross.
So like I think my second year into tattooing, I get a call back from a customer. He calls the shop and they said, I want to talk to Nikki. And I was like, fuck, okay. Hello? And it was this client that was really upset about the way his tattoo healed. And he said, it's scabbed. It's infected. It is terrible. You told me what to do. And it is just, I'm so scared right now. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what did you do? He said, well, you told me to keep it clean. I said, okay, how often have you been cleaning it? And he goes, I don't know, a couple times a day. And I said, all right. What are you using on it? He said, you said to keep it nice and moisturized, nice and lubed up. Now, I don't know if I use the term lubed up because that's a wild thing to say.
Keep it nice and lubed.
just
No
KY.
tattoo ever has ever said keep this thing nice and lubed.
Keep it lubed up, nice and greasy. I said, what did you use? He said, KY jelly.
Knew it.
KY jelly.
KY jelly. I said,
What?
huh?
It cooled it off. I pulled it on and cooled it off.
I
Cooling
said-
sensation. I thought it was great.
Keep it lubed up. I said, did you at least get a new bottle? He goes, no, I already had it on my bedside.
Oh my God. No way. That's insane.
I said, well, Godspeed. I don't know. Go to the hospital. This ain't my fault anymore.
Oh my God. Pretty bad. What did you work on this week, Trina?
So I got to redesign a piece that I started, or no, a piece that I did a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, maybe. It was a tattoo that a guy was just like, hey, do whatever you want. I'm like, all right, cool. So I designed some like front-facing neo-trad lady, some flowers around her, wound up turning it into a sticker. I made a whole bunch more money off of it after that. And then this guy's like, man, I really like that design. I want something like that. So I literally took that exact same picture, traced the face, did different flowers, different head thing, different, whatever you want to call jewelry or whatever around it. And I just did it again. And I think I'm going to make it. Yeah, dude. It looks great. It's a totally different tattoo, but I think I want to do that more.
Oh,
and you know where I got that idea from? Matt Tischler. If you look at his pieces, all of his faces look the same.
Pretty much same face, yeah.
And I'm like, man, he's got to be just like redoing the same face over and over again.
I got a fucking idea for you right now, bro.
And people are just like, I love that lady head. I want to do something similar to that. Like, why not just do the exact same thing, change it up a little bit? People love it.
Make a small book, right? With just a cutout. And then you have one lady face that's sitting all the way in the back. And then every page is a different fucking thing all the way around it, dude. I'm telling you, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Cut this out of the podcast because fucking people are going to steal this shit.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I did that tattoo. I think it was actually on the same placement too. I think both of them were on the shin. Similar color palette. I think I'm going to post both of them side by side and do like, hey, what do you guys like better, one or two?
Yeah.
Left or right?
But he knew.
Yeah, it was his idea. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
I mean, I was stoked about it. He was stoked about it.
Yeah.
I don't know how about the first guy feels about it, but I think if you look at them side by side, though, they're similar, but they're different enough that like it doesn't look like I just copied the first one and did it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Everybody on Instagram tells me that I tattoo the same face over and over again. And then they all say, it looks like you. And I go, well, probably, yeah. Because let's be real. Like,
Do you use yourself as reference?
I've only done that once.
Man, if I was a good-looking girl, I'd do that all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I did it once because they wanted my face on them,
Nice.
my actual face. And that was the worst experience ever for me.
That client was like, looking at the tattoo, looking at you, making sure.
This
It looks
guy,
like, yeah.
this guy that was his thing. This is the weirdest thing about this guy. He, during the pandemic, I did raffles, and he won one of my raffles. But for the raffles, I had 7 different prizes you could win. Full day, half day, prints, other little things like that. And he won 2 of them. So I was like, God
Damn, he bought a lot of tickets,
Yeah, how many tickets did
bro.
you buy?
He bought, I think like 12 or something, but there was a lot of people that
He
entered.
went in, yeah.
He's lucky, right? But he won the tattoo, and it took him 2 years to come in, but he finally did. And he comes in, and he shows me his leg, and I'm looking at his leg, and I'm like, I know these bitches on his leg.
I know these people.
He wanted my face in like a lady face kind of neo-trad style, doing whatever, holding something, poses. And I see he's got Megan Massacre, he's got Alicia Gorey, he's got
Wow.
he's got Alexandria Fishy, he's got, I'm like, you got my girlfriends all over you. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I was like, how is he so lucky? Does he save hair from every woman?
my
I'm
God.
assuming he had all those people tattoo their own portraits on.
Oh
them.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, their portraits, their faces in their own style. And I'm like, dude, how does he do this? Because he had won a raffle from one of those girls as well.
Oh wow. So he just buys a lot of tickets. So he's
just
determined.
wins.
That guy's determined.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was crazy. But yeah,
Because that's sad.
I don't know if he's doing some witchcraft and he's just winning every opportunity to collect faces. But I had to message the girls. I was like, yo, did you tattoo this guy? And they're like, yeah, you did too? I said, yep.
Was anybody who was like, oh yeah, Pete's such a nice guy?
I mean, he was a very nice guy. That's what I was nervous about. I was like, oh, fuck, he's getting our faces on us. Like, what is this guy about? He was delightful.
Good.
Nothing was weird.
I just came back from returning videotapes.
I did make sure my husband was there. I was like, yo, you got to keep an eye on us for today. And he goes, all right. And then after 2 hours, he's like, this guy's fucking fine. I'm going home.
You're on your own.
You're like going around with this weirdo.
But yeah, I feel like I usually end up like putting some kind of like similar look to all of my lady faces. I think it's just because we all have a certain aesthetic that we like to see, especially like what you were saying with Matt Tischler. Like he has an aesthetic like every other artist does. But after a while, it's hard to do a completely opposite looking face if all you tattoo is faces.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing after a minute.
I mean, I don't want to be a dick, but I totally want to be a dick.
Be a dick.
I was gonna say, I was like, yo, Matt Tischler. Yeah, like all his face looked great, just like Justin Hartman tattoos from like 10 years. That's big facts, bro. Come on. You and I know.
I got a tattoo from Justin Hartman in your shop.
I know. You'll see a Matt Tischler one that looks like it in about a year or two.
I want to bring that up because Nikki, I was thinking about this earlier, and now that you said that you were bombed when you were getting tattooed that day.
Are we talking about? We're going to talk about it. Okay.
Well, no. 'Cause I think you and I think in two different things.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember, I was doing a tattoo that day, and I needed help from all the other artists in the shop. And at the time, I did not know who you were. And you started giving your 2 cents. And I was like, who the hell is this bitch? What is she doing? And like, I kind of caught it at the corner of my eye that you were like, what the hell, man? Like, why don't you want my help? And so I just want to apologize for that because I had no idea.
I don't remember this
Okay,
at all.
good.
Was I wasted?
This was very early in the day. I don't know.
So I wasn't.
I don't know.
You're like, here it was.
Should have been, what's up? I'm the tattoo artist. And then he would have been like, fuck you anyways. I don't remember that.
All right, good.
Good.
Sorry, brother.
That's good.
John, what did you do this week?
This week, I worked on projects that I finished the half sleeve, which was great. It had like a food dog and a temple and cherry blossoms, the huge, all the things I like. Which, while you were saying about like doing, your face, that it's like, you've used this face before. Like, I've used this food dog reference about at least 3 times. It's a food dog. You know what I'm saying? It's what it's supposed to be. I took this photo, and I think it's as good as it gets, man.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I change that shit? It just looks good. So every time I change the lighting on it a little bit, I could play around with it like that. Like I'll change the way I illustrate it a little bit. But I love the way this like looks, fits. I took the photo so it could fit an arm. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things like when you try to put them in an arm, it's like, nah, this is too wide, So I took the photo at an angle where I'm like, oh, this is going to make a fucking perfect tat, dude. It has multiple times.
Good.
Like it's been great. And each time, I just played with the composition of the elements that are going to be in it. Because when somebody comes by and says like, dude, I love the way that you do lady faces with flowers and this other element. Now you have to figure out a way to do this 1,000 times. you know?
Mhm.
And each time just change a little bit about it, make it a little bit more unique. You know, it's like, to me, no different than like, you know, redoing a perfectly executed like traditional tattoo. Like you're not going to reinvent that wheel, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a perfect traditional rose looks a certain kind of way, and we can all agree to that. And you can just do that, just little variations to it. But once you stem away from it, then it don't start looking as good anymore. It's like, oh, that looks weird. You know, so I think like for Japanese tattooing, I feel like that applies as well, where it's like, oh, these elements really work really well as long as you keep them within this realm. And if you change them too much, then it's going to start looking weird.
I feel like that's really dependent on style, though.
Style, absolutely.
You know, like obviously with traditional, you're going to see the same kind of imagery over and over again.
Stylists.
Same with Japanese. It's kind of because it's almost to the book.
Yeah. You have limitations.
Right. When you start looking at like faces, people want to see an individual face. I don't know. I think it's just very different from case to case, but definitely with styles.
So let's talk about faces, because this is something I thought about the other day. Like, so I posted something. It was like a AI generated image, you know, and someone said, "Look at the whitewashing on this female's face," and I was like, That's just kind of how I like them to look. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I'm whitewashing it. It's just in my idea of how I want my design to look. That's how I wanted it to start looking, you know? If I wanted it to look more like a more Native American female or a more Asian female or, you know, African female, like, yes, I would go to those routes. But I like, you know, have you ever had anybody say, like, Triana, like, oh, you make all your girls' noses look perfectly like, you know,
well, yeah,
European noses, you know what I'm saying? Like,
totally subjective. You're gonna make the face look to how you feel it's attractive.
Yeah.
Right. So if what you're attracted to is a white Caucasian Northern European girl, that's what you're gonna do.
That's what you're gonna do.
I've had a couple of people who specifically asked me, like, oh, cool, I really like your lady heads. Could you do an African girl? Could you do an Asian girl? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
But my go-to is that's not going to be it.
Yeah.
No.
If you go like, oh, do whatever you want, I'm like, it's probably gonna look like something else.
I'm going to do what I think is attractive.
Yeah. Facts.
And it is kind of a sensitive thing, obviously, but you know, my specialty, I guess, is lady faces, and you know, generally people explain. At least in my emails, I have them send references of ideas and inspiration that they like. Mm-hmm. I want to get an idea of what they want to see, and you know, as we were saying before. Why do all your lady faces look like you? Well, it's probably because that's the way I understand a female face. I look at it in the mirror every single day. Yeah. Or it's not like me. It's elevated versions. Like I like to see my ladies look a certain way. I like big crazy lashes. I like you know,
yeah, your personal taste, your personal preference, you know, even like the way that you choose to do the makeup on a lady face, you know, like really does resemble like your own personal taste of what you find attractive or not, you know, like, you know.
But I also try to be conscious of, well, I want to make sure that I'm not going to whitewash something for somebody. And I'll pay attention to, okay, well, if they have like a Spanish name or something like that, I'll be like, okay, you know, or if they have a different, like, I don't know. I just, whenever they come in for their appointment, I just straight up ask sometimes, do you want it to be a white person? Yeah. Do you want it to be black? Do you want it to be Hispanic? Like, let me know. Yeah. Because I don't want to disrespect you and give you something that is something normal for me. I want to make sure it's special to you. And I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about it. And I think it should be something that should be asked, you know, because a lot of times I'll do lady faces that represent their culture. So...
yeah, that's usually where I think it really happens. Like whenever I do like you know, I had somebody like say something because I put a Native American girl with like a headdress, and they were like, women didn't wear headdresses like that. Only the chiefs did. I'm like, it's a fucking tattoo. I was like, you know what? I put headdresses on wolves, on animals, on all sorts of things, on a fucking tiger. If like the person says, you know what'd be cool, dude? A fucking headdress on a tiger. I'm like, all right, bro.
Tell that to the other 100,000 lady headdresses that are out there too, right? Like,
it's like, get over it, bro. Get over yourself, guy.
Like I don't know. I think it's good to ask, even though people they want to avoid that conversation, but you got to just do it because at the end of the day, you don't want to project what your idea of beauty is on somebody when they're looking for their idea of beauty.
You know how I look at it? If someone's gonna submit a request for a tattoo and they don't specify, it's free game.
It's free game.
Do whatever you want.
I'll do whatever I want.
You are correct, especially if they do see the type of faces that you normally do.
Yeah.
You know, like if they're asking for a Viking woman, why would I'm not going to automatically do it in a non-Viking,
Asian Viking one.
Yeah, like that would be that'd be a little weird. You know, so I think it's important to just be straight up about it and just talk about it. And I know everybody's so sensitive and wants to, walk on eggshells and stuff. But at the end of the day, this is a tattoo that is meant for your client. So make it
Whatever
right for them
want,
and just bring it up.
For sure.
Fuck it.
Can we go back a couple of minutes? You were talking about your booking process and all that. So you have an app, or like what is it that people are leaving their reviews on? What are they? What is this that they're using?
Yeah, so I use Booksy. Because after a while, I was realizing that a lot of clients are fighting for a date, and you're balancing however many emails at a time. They say, hey, I want this date.
You get three people that want that same date.
And then one of them gets booked, and then you have to email back, hey, that date got
Right.
took already,
Yeah.
sorry. And then it's just an ongoing, just forever and ever, and then it's
Yeah.
just difficult. But I found the easiest way to do it was I have a very set schedule, and I put it into the system. It's called Booksy, and I just have my days set out where I do, if I want to do 3 or 4 full days, then I have these specific dates that they can go into my calendar and pick it. Once they've already sent their email and we approve the design, we give a link to that, to the website with my link. And then they can see everything. And then I have it specified. Is it a half day? Is it a full day? And we tell them, okay, you need to book a half day or a full day.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go in there and then they book that. That way it's just, there's no back and forth. They
That's
just see it.
very similar to what we use
Same.
App Toto.
Okay.
But it's very similar.
Very
so
similar,
we'll get the requests. We can either say, all right, cool, yeah, we want to do that or not. However that conversation goes, but it's usually very minimal. And then same thing, we'll send them a link to the calendar. They see the available dates, and then they can just book themselves in.
So much easier.
Yeah.
It is so much easier. The way that I've been doing it, I usually I send the link even for booking a consultation. And my link is on my website now, so they can just go to the link straight up, and they can see full day, half day, consultation day, and they can book whatever it is that they want.
That's dangerous, though. You don't think that those people will try to book an actual appointment without doing a consultation first?
They could.
That doesn't. I don't like that.
That doesn't weird me out, because at that
I don't like
point,
that at all.
honestly,
So
let's say, like for example, for my full day appointment, people have to put down $500, bro. So it's like, if they're gonna put down $500, they're worth me talking to them. Now, I know they're fucking serious. They're not gonna get tattooed tomorrow. I know that.
Is
I
Booksy the
still
same
have
thing?
that
Did they have to
time.
put a deposit down in order to book the appointment?
Well, so Booksy, I've been working with them individually because they're more of a salon type of app, and they want to branch out into tattooing.
So you're helping them kind of like
Right.
customize it for tattooing.
We're kind of working it out as like an ambassadorship. Once I didn't want to do it until I used it for a really long time and figured out all the kinks, and I've
Mhm.
been working with them back and forth like, hey, this actually doesn't work for tattoo artists.
Yeah.
You can't just, well, some people do like it. If they have a day open, they just let them book it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not necessarily like that. We need to know what's going on before we have a thing booked.
So with that is that you can have somebody book it, and let's say like it can go two ways, right? Somebody just books a date to get tattooed by you, and you can make it so they cannot make an appointment without describing what they want to get, right?
But they can describe something that you don't want to do.
Absolutely. But at that point, you're going to see that, and you can refund them their money and say, hey, buddy, I'm so sorry, but I'm just not interested in doing that project.
You can, but that's for the well, at least for Booksy, that's the public profile. We don't have a public profile.
You have a private profile
have
that
a
you
private
send
one.
like a private link.
Right. So for my husband, he does laser tattoo removal. We just opened Gotham tattoo removal
Mhm.
at the shop, and he'll you know, it's a new business. He'll book anything. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not like he's going to be specific about anything.
Right.
You got a tattoo, I'll laser. It's fine. His is public. But for the shop, we have a private link that we send to people after we've already had the conversation through email where it's approved and I want to tattoo them and they sent the deposit already. I'm trying to work with Booksy now where it's kind of like a collaborative thing to be able to cater to, you know, more industries other than hair and things like that. And, you know, instead of having so many different, my goal with them is to have it all one stream. So it's not just email and then deposit through PayPal or Venmo. And then you have to book through the app. Wouldn't it make more sense and be easier if the email is sent through Booksy? They send the deposit through their system. You get paid out through their system. It's just done because these clients now have to download 3 different apps.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
It's annoying.
Just today,
That's
I
where
actually got
AppToto is
an
nice.
ad. Let me see if I can find it. I don't have too many. I have to look through all the freaking Instagram pages. But I got an ad for a company that's doing it for tattooing, and it's probably like they didn't have that many followers yet or anything like that. So I'm sure they're pretty just kind of getting this going. But
It might be the one that I was trying a couple of months ago.
What's it called?
Fuck, I gotta look. I don't know. If you said it, I would remember. I would say, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Inkbook? Is that
so,
it?
I don't think it's Inkbook,
So,
no.
AppToto does everything that you're talking about. Like you can leave a deposit through their system.
That's dope.
You got to like set it up so that like, I think it might be Square.
Yeah, I
or-
said it. Did it through Square.
Yeah. And
That's their
like
payment
you
processor.
you never leave their website when you're booking the appointment, which is nice.
That's great.
Yeah, it's smooth.
And it's cheap. So that's why I liked it. The original one, I think that maybe you and I are talking about the same thing, John. The original one that I tried first, which is like how I got started with this client booking service thing, they were asking like $200 a month to do this. And I was like, I don't know, man, that seems like a lot of money. And I was looking around for some other client booking services, and they were all like a little bit cheaper, but not that much cheaper. Dude, AppToto is like $40 a month.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
And I was already using them. They have a service where they do an automated text message reminding
That's a
thing.
Yeah, we have that too.
So I was already using them. So all I had to do was upgrade my service for a couple of extra dollars a month. And it was like a no-brainer, dude. And then I got John onto it, and he was like, dude, this is amazing.
All right, so this thing is
Right.
called Linework Tattoo Studio Software. And take the pain out of managing your tattoo business. That's really good. And you can sign up for free. They use Stripe for things, no licensing fee, cancel fine time, and for studios or artists. And it does kind of everything that we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, handle
How
your
much?
calendar. It doesn't say yet.
Yeah.
I have to like reach out to them, see. But I'd love to know.
200 is
really good.
steep, but 40, that's a great deal.
I know. And I was worried too. I was like, how do you go from $200 to 40 and it not be like, what are you skimping out on, dude? It has everything that I want.
And what's it called?
AppToto.
AppToto. And you can also like, customize it a little bit. And like one thing that I love about it is they can set up like follow up, either emails or texts like to your client. So for example, I know a lot of artists that don't like to say like, hey, like it would be awesome if you like left me a review, you don't want to have that conversation.
Weird.
Some people they feel weird about it, but you can just set up AppToto to then send a text message to them or an email to them. Like, a week later, it's like, hey, it was great tattooing you. I'm so glad that you had, and it'll, when you can set up parts where it's like insert name, and it'll put the person's name. So it feels more personable. And they're getting a message from you saying like, hey, thanks for getting tattooed by me. I hope to see you again in the future. And if you had a great experience, like,
Oh, you can individualize the,
Yes.
that's cool.
You know what's really great about it too? I mean, we should be getting paid for this. If it's like, let's say it's late at night, you got to like do a last minute cancellation on your appointment, and the shop hand's not, it's too late. She's not going to email this person. You can sign into this AppToto, and send a text message directly from you. You could type whatever you want, and it'll send a text message to the person that you're supposed to tattoo tomorrow. Be like, hey man, or how are you to make it sound professional? Hey, this is No Idols Tattoo NYC. We're sorry to inform you that we need to cancel your appointment. If you want to reschedule, here's the link to do that. Like, you can just send individual text messages to however you want.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back into like this whole discussion about, how people handle their booking. And usually when there's some kind of third party or a manager or an assistant or whatever that is handling things, I've often found, even if I've even told tattooers before, just pretend to be an assistant in your emails.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll email people from the shop's email pretending that it's not me.
Yeah.
There's something about that interaction that makes the client feel less comfortable to, I don't know, fuck with the rules.
Yeah, 100%.
They feel less needy when it's not you. When it's like
Yeah.
directly you, they just want to start chatting what they're going to talk to you about the day of their appointment.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, let's just wait, buddy.
Well, I also think that when there's a third party in between the client and the artist, there's no room for negotiation. When the other person is talking to you, this is the rules. This is how it goes. This is the price. These are the dates.
Yeah.
This is how it goes. And as an artist, when people are coming back with their opinion on it or what they think about it, there's this guilt that we have that we almost have to be accommodating to them. If the price isn't correct for them or or anything about it, there's just this thing that we feel.
I don't feel that guilt at all.
No, but I haven't felt it.
You're a different breed about that. Though,
I'm like, no, like it's not happening, bro.
I did back in the day. I have been having, like I said, I've had my husband do this for 5 years now. But before that, I almost felt like, oh, they're not taking me seriously because they know they're messaging me directly. And then they can be straight up about what they want. And now it's a conversation of, do you really want my business or not? But when you have someone else doing your communication for you, there's no room for that to happen. But a lot of people do. I know you don't. I don't give a fuck, obviously. But a lot of people get this kind of anxiety over being, I don't know, like putting their foot down about what they need to do and what they feel is appropriate for the way they manage their business and how they handle their money and all this other stuff. And I think that's probably just a reflection on how much their own self-worth is,
It's huge. The other day, I was watching a segment from the Tattoo Guardians podcast with Joshua Carlton and, damn, I'm blanking out on this guy's name. Like a dick. But anyways, they were talking about being able to set boundaries, with your clients and like knowing when, like there's times where they do something that's kind of a dickish move, you know what I'm saying? Like canceling you last minute, but you're like, oh, it's cool, man. Let's just get you back in, like things happen and you just keep playing it off like it's all good. And they do it one time, they do it 2 times. And it's because you have not laid down the line of like, this is not respectful. This is not this ain't cool, bro.
Yeah.
You have to be able to lay it down.
I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I don't know if any of you saw. I know Johnny, you saw it because I specifically talked to you about this. I had a client who got tattooed by me a couple of months ago. What was this, August, right? And she asked me to fix a tattoo that she already had done like 20 years ago, right? And it was old, but it was still dark. It was still like there was structure to it. There was not a whole lot that I could do to it. So I told her, I specifically said, I was like, look, the best thing that we could do for this tattoo is to just clean it up. Keep it the way that it is. Let me just revive it, call it a day. She was like, cool. I did it. She looked at it. She had her friend there. They were both stoked. Like, oh yeah, great. And then months later, we just recently this was in October. It is now almost February.
Yeah.
She just emailed John to complain about me, to say that I didn't do what she wanted and that I was insensitive. I was late.
You weren't late. You were here, but you did a walk-in.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, you did a walk-in, because she wasn't here yet, and a walk-in came in. He was like, oh, I'm going to do this quick walk-in, and then I'll do my client,
That's not late.
No, I was already here, bro.
They chose when they wanted to come in.
So anyway, all of that to say that I put a post up the day that he was telling me about this email that he received about how terrible of a tattoo artist I am. I said, I am no longer doing any reworks, not coloring old tattoos that someone did. I don't even want to do cover-ups anymore.
Do you think that that person and the way they acted is just because of what they asked for, though?
I don't know.
You think that people that want reworks are going to be a little bit more demanding or critical, or?
I think that people have unrealistic expectations.
Sometimes that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's why, like, it's really tricky when I do the reworks because I'm super down to tackle like shit that looks, oh, this looks really hard. But if I see it right away, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see how this could work, you know? But at that point, I need to make sure that they know what my plan is. And that it's like, if you understand that it's like, look, for this to work, how I see that this could work, this tattoo is going to have to be 3 times as big. It's going to take 3 sessions and it's going to be like this. End result will be cool. But if you're expecting you're going to come in one day and I'm going to just do a one pass cover up on this thing and it's going to look perfect, that ain't it, bro. We're going to need multiple sessions on this, commitment, time, money.
Well, yeah, that is a factor, right? They're already coming in establishing that they have a standard and they want you to make it better. So I guess there could be a little bit more.
Sometimes they're a little traumatized too because they're like,
Yeah.
you know, they had a bad experience and they're like, oh, I've seen your stuff. It looks cool, but can you do something about this? And,
right.
you know.
You know what I say to those people, though? Because I should have said it to this girl, too, because I say it to everybody else. I said,
Get it lasered.
Well, yes, get lasered. But I tell them, if you really like my work that much, let me do something cool on you somewhere else. You know, don't restrict me to have to like work with what's already there because it's not going to look like my work.
Yeah.
It's going to look like I tried to fix something else and it's not going to come out that great. And I even said it in one of the comments on the Instagram post. I was like, I'd rather do something new on you that both of us are 100% happy with than a cover up or a rework that you're 60% happy with and I'm 20% happy with because I'm not going to like what I just did. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to be proud of it. I don't want to be bothered anymore. Yeah. And then I have to deal with, you know, you being this unhappy that you're complaining to, you know, the guy who owns the shop that I work at and bad talk me about it.
Yeah, they went for you, huh?
Dude, man, it ruined my day.
Yeah.
Ruined my day.
I had a client that man, he's the man. Frank, you're the man. Anyways, he came in to get a sleeve started. He was like, yeah, I want to get it here. And he's like, wait, I have this thing up here. Do you think that it'll be better if I do it on my other arm? My other arm's clean. And I was like, yeah, man, 100% will look better on that other arm. And he's like, all right, let's just do it on my other arm. I'll get this lasered, and then you can tattoo that later.
That's a
I'm
fantastic
like,
man.
Damn.
Why can't everybody be like that?
Like, why can't everybody be like that? I was like, Frank, you're a legend. I was like, that's it. That's it. He understood it. It's like, yeah, I'll get an end result here. I'll get this lasered, and then later I'm going to get this arm tattooed. It's going to look sick.
Yeah.
Guess what? He's done it.
You know what's crazy too is after I put that post up that I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. You know how many people DM me like, oh no, could you do this for me? It's like I
was just like waiting.
Like, I was about to book an appointment. Like, could you really just make an extension for me? I'm like, come on, man.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our own rules and what we want to take and what we don't want to take. I mean, if anything, if I ever rework something, it's usually just for a friend.
Yeah.
Or somebody that I can't stand looking at their tattoo anymore. And I go, can I fucking fix it? Because you're never going to. God, can I just do this?
Dude, friend tattoos are the worst. I feel like my friends who ask me to get tattooed, they're only getting tattooed by me because I'm their buddy and I'll hook them up. They don't want to get the stuff that I normally do.
Nah.
And I wind up giving them shitty tattoos because they could get a better tattoo of what they want from somebody else, but they'd rather go to me because I'll hook them up.
You're so right. God, I've done so many tattoos that are not in my style on people that are my closest
friends.
friends.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, no, I talk about this all the time, especially to Tim. I go, when are you going to let me do one of my tattoos? All I've done is fix up your shitty sleeve. And you're saying, oh, my wife did this. And I go, no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't do that. That's just like a shot version of what I can do.
That's like when they say, I love your work, but I want something that's nothing like your work.
Oh, man.
All right, break, guys.
Take a break.